Hello everyone, welcome to the Green and Clean YouTube channel. Here we talk about EVs. My name is Vittal and today's topic is battery warranty and battery life. Battery is the most important part of an EV as you all know, and I thought this topic has to be covered in one of my earlier episodes in this series. By the way, each of these series I try to keep it on one topic for about 10 to 15 minutes so that you don't get bored with one topic too deep or a lot of topics about EVs clubbed into one big video or something like that. So each of these videos is going to be 10 to 15 minutes short, right? So I hope you like the content that way. Now let's go to this core topic, the battery warranty and battery life. One of the common misunderstanding of people about the EV is the battery life. So everyone says, oh, okay, you bought an EV, so what about how are you going to replace the battery after 5 years or after 8 years or after the warranty is over? What is the cost of replacing the battery and blah blah blah, right? Now there is a common misconception that once the warranty is over, the battery is gone, it's dead and you have to replace the battery. Well, it's not like that. Just to go into the history of this battery warranty. So when the EVs started, in a major scale by Teslas and I think Nissans and to some extent Toyota. So when they started, the US federal government sort of mandated these companies to have a minimum warranty for batteries, which is 5 years and 100,000 miles, or I think it's 8 years and 100,000 miles in the US, right? So the government wanted the companies to give the minimum battery warranty. So that's the underlying part here. It's a minimum battery warranty, which is 8 years and 100,000 or 1 lakh miles, which translates to about 1.6 lakh kilometers here in Indian terms, right? And that's the minimum. So that means that the battery can last a lot longer than the warranty. Some car companies give 5 years, some give 8 years, 1,60,000, and some even, for example, this BYD E6 gives 5 lakh kilometer battery warranty and 8 years, whichever comes early, right? So that's the minimum. That means it is guaranteed that these batteries last that long minimum, right? But it will last a lot longer. So the warranty is just to cover that aspect of the legal implications. Now talking technically about the battery life, right? Because the warranty depends on the life of the battery. Now you can understand battery life in two ways. uh, One is called as the calendar life, which is in terms of number of years the battery will last, and the second one is based on the usage, which is called as the charging cycle based life of the battery. So broadly, two categories, and that's why you have warranties typically in terms of time and in terms of number of kilometers. Time translate to the calendar based battery life, and the kilometer translates to roughly the charging cycle based battery life, right? Now let's take the calendar life. Now each battery is supposed to hold 100% of charge. Let's say it is 70 kilowatt hours or 50 kilowatt hours depending on your battery's full capacity. Think of it like a bucket with the water filled to its brim, right? So how much water it can hold. So that's the capacity of the battery. Now it is a given that over a period of time and over a period of usage, this capacity will reduce. So think of it like the bucket will develop like a very small hole or a small leakage, which results in not having 100% charge, right? So that's called as the state of health of the battery. So when you buy the car, the state of health of the battery is 100%, and over a period of time, it's going to deteriorate. So it's not going to stay 100% all along. So it is going to reduce, but it's not so drastic like in 5 years or in 8 years the battery is going to be of no use, right? So it's not like, don't compare the car batteries to your mobile batteries, which last much lesser, but car batteries are designed to last longer. Now, how long, right? How many years can a battery last? Unfortunately, we don't have like a huge number of data which dates back to, let's say, 10 years or 15 years, because we don't had we don't have so many cars that we can test today as to what is the life of a battery. But there's enough data to kind of give you a hint that batteries long more than 10 years, 15 years, even can go up to 20 years, right? So that's the life of the battery we are talking about. Now, what about the state of health of the battery over a period of time? Right? So in 1 year, how much how much battery capacity will my car still hold, right? So that has been studied. So there is a survey of about, I think, 6,300 cars belonging to different years of manufacturing, and checking the various battery parameters. So these experts have determined what is the average deterioration of battery in a year, and that number is roughly about 2.3% per year. So that means if your battery is 100% today when you bought it new, after a year from now it may be around 100 minus 2.3, which is like 97 point something, right? 97.7, or somewhere around that. It's an average. So it's going to deteriorate in 1 year by that much. So if you calculate this over a period of time, let's take 15 years for example, right? So you are roughly talking about 30% degradation. So 15 years from now, your car battery can still hold 70% of the charge. Your bucket can still have 70% of water in it. Now, obviously, you can still use those 70% water, right? You can still take bath in the bucket if you are taking bath in a bucket, or whatever you do with the water in the bucket. So it's not like even after 15 years, the battery is completely gone, right? So it's going to stay 70% of its capacity, which means that if you have let's say a 70 kilowatt hour battery, then after 15 years, it's going to be like somewhere around 49 or 50 kilowatt hour of capacity. And in terms of how much it can run, so if you have a range of, let's say, 500 kilometers when you bought it, so 15 years from now, it's going to be about what, 30% reduction is about 350 to 400 kilometers of range. So even after 15 years, after using the car for 15 years, you still have a battery that can run 350 kilometers, which is still decent for any type of car which has run that long, right? I know not all car batteries will come with 70 kilowatt hour battery like the BYD E6 that I'm in right now. But if you take a 50 kilowatt hour or 40 kilowatt hour battery, you still have that much juice. You can maybe go 100 150 kilometers even after 15 years of usage, right? And it is already proven, like first some of the first models of Teslas or Nissan Leafs, or here in India the Reva cars that came into Indian scenario almost a decade back, they still run, and they still run with 70% of its original capacity, which is good enough. So the battery doesn't die after 8 years of warranty. It doesn't die after 5 years of warranty. It still lasts longer than that, maybe double the warranty, and it still can run your car. It still can hold some charge, right? So you can run the car for maybe for the local running, or manage it whatever way you want it. And if after its calendar life, it's not like it's some completely gone to 0% and you just dispose the battery, right? So the battery does have a second life. So you can take this battery and store your, I don't know, solar energy or whatever sort of energy, use it as part of your UPS system at home. So those technologies are going to evolve as we go on this EV road. So it is not that after warranty the battery is gone and you have to replace the battery every 8 years of running of your car, right? So that's a given. This is under normal usage. However, there can be faults in the battery, because of which some odd cases of here and there the battery may go bad and it may need some replacement and all of that. So that's pretty much normal in any walk of life. So there are exceptions. So there are going to be faults and defects which might make the battery unusable after a few years of usage. So that's not a norm, it's an exception, right? So that we have to understand. So that is the calendar life of battery. It's much longer than what the warranty gives. Now coming to the second part, the charging cycle based life, right? Now a charging cycle of an EV is a cycle where the EV power, or the capacity goes from 100% to 0%. So 100% to 0% is considered as one charge cycle, right? It doesn't matter how many times you plug in and plug out and charge your battery, but internally it calculates what is that it has taken from 100% to 0%. It considered it as one charging cycle. And commonly, most of the modern cars are believed to have anywhere between 2000 to 3000 charge cycles, right? So 2000 to 3000 charge cycles. So you can calculate like what does it mean in terms of distance, right? For example, this car which gives 500 kilometers on paper of range, which is roughly about 400 to 450 on in real life range, right? So if this car's battery has, let's say, 3000 charge cycles, that means even taking a lower band of 400 kilometers of range multiplied by uh, 3000 charging cycles, so that's about how much? 120,000 or 12 lakh kilometers of battery life. 12 lakh. Now that's completely unimaginable, in other types of cars, like ice car engines. I don't think the cars last that long. Most of us don't even drive 12 lakh kilometers in our lifetime unless you run a fleet, or you're a cab driver or something like that. A private owner doesn't drive so much, so many kilometers. So that's the amount of life the battery has. So 2000 to 3000 kilometers. Yes, let's even consider the mix of calendar life and the charging cycle life based calculation. Let's remove 30% from that 12 lakh kilometer, right? So which is still about a good 8 or 9 lakh kilometers. That's insane. So just to give another idea about charging cycle, let's say every day you drain your battery to 0% and then charge it to 100%. That means one charging cycle, right? If you do it every day, which is probably impractical, but let's assume you do it. So if you consume one charging cycle per day, it's going to take 3000 days for the battery to go bad, which is close to 10 years. And I'm sure nobody will do that. So let's factor that to a one third, right? Let's say you charge once every 3 days from 0 to 100%, or use 100% battery every 3 days, right? So even then, if you make the calculation, it's going to last like 25-30 years. So there is a common saying that the battery will outlast the car, right? So battery will remain intact, maybe other parts of the cars will go bad. So that's how much a battery is supposed to be running. Now, unfortunately, we don't have enough data because the EV mainstream adoption has just started. So we are still in the early phase of this adoption. So we don't have like a huge batch of old cars on which we can run the samples and see whether it really lasts 15 years, 20 years, whether it really lasts 10 lakh kilometers, 12 lakh kilometers and all that. But it is going by the statistics taken so far, it looks like it is realistic, right? So that's how much the battery is going to last, or is supposed to be lasting in an EV car. So I'm pretty sure you have got an idea about what it means by battery warranty and what is the battery life of an EV car. A lot of it depends on how well you maintain the battery. Also, don't if you don't abuse, you should not be like fast charging every day. In the case of some battery chemistry, you cannot do fast charging and then the battery will go bad, and things like that, right? So if you take care of the battery. It is going to last long. It is going to last much longer than you thought it would. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching this. See you again in other episodes in the Green and Clean YouTube channel. Thank you.